I'm very, very excited about the guests that we have coming on the Darren Green Show. Those of you who've been watching us and listening into the show for the past few weeks, we have been interviewing stars from the hit reality web series Chasing LA, which is part of the Chasing Reality franchise. FLYKINGI, also known as Ian, is a rapper and a songwriter most notable for his Labor Day mixtape hosted by the mother of reality TV, Miss Tiffany Pollard, also known as New York. And he's currently a cast member of Chasing LA, and he's using that platform as a openly gay, award-winning battle rapper and an entrepreneur.
Yes.
He's been featured on Billboard Pride's Top 10 Songs, and he also worked with T.S. Madison on her song, Is It On? So we're very excited to have him here. He's determined to expand his brand and do some astronomical things, and we're going to be excited to see what's next for him. So without any further ado, let's welcome FLYKINGI.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Like,
there we go.
Is it on?
Hi, guys.
Is it on? Recording?
Hey.
Hey, Ian, welcome.
I'm excited to talk to you guys today.
I'm excited to have you here and to get to the tea and give what needs to be gave. This season,
right?
This premiere season of Chasing LA has been explosive. Isn't even the word. Like, explosive is not the word to use for all of the drama and train wrecks that we saw. But with you on the show,
train wrecks.
You said train wrecks, right? But with you on the show, we got a chance to see a Black man out here making health and beauty products.
Hello.
And all the things. So for a person that may not have known that you were a battle rapper, outside of when D. Hawkins was getting his butt cupped and you were freestyling.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't we get to see you rap more on the show?
Well, we didn't get to see me showcase a lot of my battle rapping on the show because it was a pandemic and battle rap events are live events. It's kind of like boxing where we can have the boxers fight with no crowd there, but a crowd is a part of the moment. Like, so when you're battle rapping and going back and forth and letting someone have it, the crowd is a part of the moment. So it wasn't a lot of events that were being thrown because of that reason. And I actually got the opportunity to be on URL, which is like the biggest rap league. To give you an example, the last event Drake was there. That's how big that league is. So I actually was one of the first gay rappers to be on that platform, but they didn't, and I was filming at the same time, but they wasn't, because of COVID, they weren't allowing people to come. I couldn't invite anybody, and this was a big moment for me in battle rap. So that's why it really didn't get showcased. Now that California is starting to open back up, you can take your mask off and be vaccinated. I think, hopefully if I'm invited back for season 2, or there is a season 2, that I'll be able to showcase that, because I am seeing a lot of comments of why you didn't showcase that on the show. And it's like, I did the best I could. God damn.
Right. I wanted to see somebody
You did come a little later on in the season anyway, so it's like, yeah.
So give us a little background. Like, where are you from? Are you from LA, or you're from Atlanta, Dallas? Where are you from?
I grew up in Compton, so I'm a California native. Definitely an LA County native, because everyone that would say they were from LA is a vast space in LA County. Like, I went to school in Carson, but even though I went to high school in Carson, my high school diploma says Los Angeles Unified School District, because it's still Los Angeles County. So you can kind of say with that, I grew up in LA. My whole life. I've always been here.
And how long have you been rapping? Like, when did you know that?
I've been rapping all of my life. Growing up, the first single I ever got that I bought from the store back when you could buy singles in the store, CDs, was Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. And the first album I ever bought was Puff Daddy's No Way Out. So I've always loved hip hop. I've had to have every album. I had every Outkast album, every Nas album, Jay-Z, because I don't know. I just always had to have every album, whether I liked it or not, or liked you or not. I just wanted to consume the hip hop culture. Growing up in high school, they used to have ciphers where the dudes would gather around and rap with each other. But I was always, because I had this high-pitched squeak and this flamboyance about me, never really wanted to hop in and rap, but I knew that I could. So it wasn't until I got out of high school and I started doing my own thing as an adult that I actually came into rapping and decided to be a battle rapper and a rapper.
And what is it like being a battle rapper, openly gay battle rapper? Because I know it's just a lot.
It's a lot because it's a lot you have to deal with from the audience. It's a lot you have to deal with the promoters. It's a lot you have to deal with whoever you're rapping against. There's a lot of politics that you have to deal with. If you watch, I have a battle with Perfecto, who people call like a hotep guy. So, he don't like the gay community and calls us child molesters and, all those
Lord
things
Jesus.
that those girls like to say. So, I mean, it's out there. That's real. There's a group of people. This is what they believe. So when I was battling him and they introduced me, like the crowd was like, "Boo, get this faggot off stage." You could watch the battle. And it's actually the first battle that kind of went viral for me and kind of got my buzz going within that community. So it's definitely something you have to have really thick skin. That's why being on a show like Chasing LA is really nothing for me, because dealing with them, they say way worse stuff about me than anybody on this show could ever say. So it's definitely something you have to have thick skin. But what gives me strength when I'm on stage is I feel like I'm speaking for people who just want to be themselves. And you could say what you want about gay people or say what you want about me, but I could say what I want to say about you. You're not perfect. Why are you and your baby mama together? I thought y'all was about keeping the families together and the sanctity of marriage. It's a lot to expound on. There's things about me you don't like, and I can read on. You can read on me, but there's things about you also love that we can kind of debate on. Like, so, and that was my point of being a battle rapper, just being a voice of people who just should be allowed to be themselves.
Awesome, dope. So how did you get into the Chasing Reality family? Did you audition for the show, or were you like a friend of a friend that got recommended? Or we always ask everybody, like, how did you come into this group? Because from the first episode, it was like, none of us know each other. Why are people yelling and fighting and like got beat already? So how did you get into this group, and what did you want to be when you got there?
Well, I got into the group because maybe a couple of years before this even was coming about, I had met Blake, who was one of the original producers. I don't know if you've seen the interviews and things that have happened online with her, but I actually had met her. We had talks about working on a couple of projects that didn't pan out. So I hadn't really spoken to her for a while. I ended up seeing that they were auditioning, having auditions for Chasing LA, and I actually was aware of Chasing LA because me and Premier from Chasing Dallas were actually, I know him in real life, so I was watching the show because of that reason. So I was aware of the show. So I decided to place an audition, and then that's when Blake called me like, "Oh, I'm looking at the audition." So I'm like, "Okay, hey girl, how you doing, girl? Hey girl, you been?" So that's kind of how, from there, and I just continued the process, and production ended up liking me, Q ended up liking me, so I ended up getting on the show. I wasn't on the first episode because when you see me on the show, I was in Atlanta filming a photo shoot for my brand Royal Flyness. And that's the same day that they were filming at Hamburger Mary's in Long Beach in California. So I couldn't be there. And I wasn't at the stripper scene on the next episode because I was in Las Vegas doing something too. So that's the reason why I wasn't there for the first couple of episodes. But
the girls are working.
Yeah, no, right. Because
the lights gotta stay on. So I gotta go.
Absolutely.
Like y'all discussing jobs. Oh, okay. Right, that is like y'all people worry about people's jobs. None of y'all working. But anyway.
Oh, now.
I'm just saying. We see the ones that are working because the ones that were working weren't there. No.
I'm gonna need look.
Right, hey, this is just look. I always tell like this.
Right,
is
we done had some of them on the shop. Let me say.
This is just me as a friend of the show, just giving my what I say in my little eyes or whatever. I had some reservations about bringing you on before bringing on someone else because I do have to ask some questions. What's your relationship like with Quan?
I like Quan. I don't have an issue with Quan. I did not like how he came to the party, and I felt like he kind of had an issue with me. He was following me, then he unfollowed me. So it's kind of like I don't know, what. And then the last time I seen him, he gave me a hug. So I just I don't know. We haven't really got to really sit down to actually get to know each other well. But I wish him the best.
Okay, so it's like you don't know her, kind of Mariah.
No, I wouldn't say I don't know her. I know of her. I wouldn't say that we're friends.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But definitely acquaintances.
Right, because I kind of picked up, so watching the cast, especially since this is the first season, I'm always interested in seeing how people build relationships and like, not really necessarily like alliances, but like how creatives, connect on, I would expect like you and Quan to connect because you're both spoken word kind of in that realm, you know what I mean? And I kept finding him like on an island, but like secretly on a teeter between friend groups and never really found his place. And then after the whole,
he definitely, I agree with that. I don't know what it is. I can't quite personally put my finger on Quan, but I mean, I don't have a problem if, we end up being cool or being friends. I don't have a personal issue with him at all. So I don't know why it was like that.
Right. Mm. So can you answer another question for us? Now, this interview is about you, and I want to give you an opportunity to talk about your experience this season. What was your favorite moment this season? Like, what is one of the things that you were actually like proud of that was showcased this season?
Outside of being able to, showcase my business on a show that just felt so amazing and show that I have all these things going on. Mm-hmm. I did like that Alicia and Jayla were able to come around and become friends even after the argument that they had, because I think that it's important to show trans women getting along and that they're beautiful, they're getting their hair done in these types of reality show spaces. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very beautiful because we don't see things like that on television at all. I mean, we have Pose, but that's a scripted series. I'm talking about in the space of reality drama series. That type of space, we don't see that positive. We don't see that going on Baddies ATL with Sydney Starr and Judy, and they dragging her and they calling her a man and calling her a dude and calling her a bro. So I thought that was beautiful to see those two get along on the show.
We love your commercial. Well, my friends,
thank you.
She literally started. I don't know what. Yeah, so. I think she came over one night during the premiere. I watched it on my TV in the living room, and we were just talking. And I be zoned in. I be watching. I be all the things. And then your commercial came on. She's like, "Who is this man? Like, I need to what I need to buy. Like, does he come with the body butter?" And I was just like, "Yeah." I said, "Not you got the straights out here getting moist." Yes. That's how you get some good markets. You should buy something for your brother and your nephews and things. She's like, "Does the man come with it?" Help. Somebody help.
Maybe so what inspired the order and see if he come in the mail.
Right. So what inspired you to jump into that? Like into doing doing body washes and body scrubs and things like that. What inspired you to move into that direction?
I think I've always been approached by several, certain people saying that I should have merch. I should do something in business. I could never find my passion. I knew I always had a passion for fragrances ever since I was little, like what a top note is, a bottom note, those types of things. So I eventually started off with 2 body butters, a beard oil, and a beard wash, I believe, and like a growth serum. And I started off with that. I had Bishop Don from Black Ink Crew be the first ambassador for the brand. So he opened it up. And then that's how it kind of started. And then I had like an aha moment where I was kind of like, you know what I want to do? I want to be like the Victoria's Secret, but with men. So it's like instead of angels, it's like maybe they're the devils. I don't know, but I don't know what to call it yet. But like I wanted to do that because and as I started to do it, I realized there's not a lot of market spaces for men of color who have like this, as we would call in the ballroom scene, the sex siren type of image to kind of work with different brands and stuff. It's kind of like if you're white, you know what I'm saying, you'll get all of these opportunities. But if you're a man of color, then they don't, a lot of these men that I speak to, they've never even had a business approach them. So I think that it's amazing that I'm gotten my business to a space where I can now have photo shoots and commercials and hire these type of men and kind of create this like small subculture of an industry. So that's kind of what inspired me. Really, it was the Victoria's Secret Angels that inspired me to do this, but with the men.
Very good. That's very good. Thank you for opening up that lane. I'm gonna stick out. I ain't got no beard anymore, but I may have to do me like some ear oils. You gotta find something different. You know what I mean?
We're gonna do something with you because I seen the video with you and you was twerking. I forgot what song you was twerking to, but I was like, wait, if we gonna give we gonna send it something. We seen it. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act shocked.
Lord, fix it. See, I got
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, look, the doll be darling. So now we're gonna move into, like, we know you're a businessman. We know you got the battle rap on lock. One of the things that is most noted about you on this season is your choice of wardrobe. People would have thought that you were flawless, right? And I saw some of the other interviews you've been doing on Instagram and when y'all go live on YouTube. I tell you, I be peeping everything. I love Chasing Reality, whole franchise. I remember when I first, was it the first scene that you were on? I probably tweeted this. And I ain't no hater. But I was like, who is this man with these shiny ass Steve Harvey suits? What does he do? What does he do? It was like, first of all, like, where he keep, literally, my boyfriend was like, I just need to know, where does he get his clothes? Like, are these custom, like, but now that you mentioned ballroom, I can start seeing that you offer an effect. That's what you're offering, an effect when you step in space. But like, where do you get these ideas for these outfits from? And like, is that part of your like daily brand, or was that just for TV?
I would say it's always been a part of my brand. If you look at some of my old battles, my older music videos, well before the show, I always kind of dress very flamboyant. Like that's just always the way that I've been. Like you can watch pictures of my father and he'll have on like a red sequence 3-piece suit with a gold chain blinging. Like that's just who I am.
Right.
That's just me. So I really came into the space saying, I'm going to be 100% just myself. I'm going to try not to worry about the camera too much and just say what I would say if there was no cameras there and this was happening in front of me, and react how I will react. So a lot of people felt like I was very animated and all of this, but people who have known me for years would describe me as a person who is animated, a person who likes to joke, a person who is loud. Like that's just that I was just being myself. So that's why I was dressing like that. It wasn't, and I get it. It seemed like I was doing too much for television, but it's like you can pull up stuff. We can go through pictures all day when I was wearing rhinestones all over when no cameras. So that's just me.
That's fine, because I was like, I just need to figure out where to get it from so I can
where to get it from.
Child Pride is coming up, and I got to be able to turn up every day. Okay, I got to make things happen. And one of my favorite, I think I posted on my Instagram. Was it from the finale or the episode before the finale when they had their blowout, and you took D Hawkins' little morning hat?
You did post that.
I was like, this is literally all the viewers. Like, damn, y'all not gonna have one event where y'all just come to peace.
Literally said that. I was like, we can't have one event where we just kind of like can be nice or everything. We can't do one electric slide like for the one time. Like,
not for the one. Yes.
I'm like, Ian is everybody right now. We are all watching it just like this. Like, I was like, I need this as a gift right now. I'm gonna go back and make it a gift for myself.
I did have a question about what is your, because I've seen you your interview with Imani Van Zap. You were talking specifically about Jayla and King Paint. What is your relationship with them now? Because I don't know. It seemed like things kind of shifted with you guys.
On my end, I don't have an issue with King Payne and I don't have an issue with Jayla. I think what happens in these spaces when you do these reality shows is that things happen and then we go through it as we go through it, and then they are aired and everyone watches it. And then now when you do these interviews, people are asking you how you felt in that moment when that person did that. So it's a place of just saying how I felt when they did this or when they said this about me. But it's not me saying that I don't like them or I have an issue with them. But I'm going to give my opinion on how I felt in that moment at those times in my life where she said this or he did this or he said that. But I don't, we follow, I follow King Payne. He follows me. I follow Jayla. She follows me. Jayla has messaged me and said that she wished we could have gotten more time to speak to each other. And I agree. Maybe I would have gotten to know her a little better. And I'm still open to that today. But I'm definitely going to voice my opinion on something that she says that I may not like or I feel like it's rude. But it doesn't mean that I don't like her. It's just I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell it like it is.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. And so I watched the interview that you did with D. Hawkins where Andre popped up and kind of like let
who popped up?
Andre.
Okay.
Yeah. That was I think that y'all did the after show. Y'all did the after show after the finale, and like D. Hawkins said, we go through these things, and then it's months, and then we have to do the interview about what happened for your confessional, and then it comes out, then you have to relive it again, and then we go on the blogs, and then you go, do interviews. So it's like the wound never gets a chance to like really close because the scab gets pulled off so many different times. And hopefully this weekend y'all will be able to get some real healing. Praying for y'all.
Pray for us. Pray for us. Please.
Right. You all are taping the reunion tomorrow, right? Or
we're taping it tomorrow, which is also me and King Payne's birthday, June 26th.
Oh, happy birthday!
Happy
Thank
early
you.
birthday to you. You gonna wear a crown too?
I thought about it, but I was like, no, I don't want to wear a crown. I've worn crowns before. I used to get my crowns custom made and bedazzled. I don't get them off Amazon, but so I was just like, and then by the time I figured out when we were having the reunion and the amount of time I had, the crowns that I have encrusted to put on my head, they take a little bit longer than the time that we had allocated before when I was aware of the reunion date and the colors that we're going to wear and the actual date. So I didn't have enough time for the type of crown that I would have chosen to wear. But I'm glad these girls are able to get Amazon Prime for $14.99 a month and get crowns. I'm happy about that.
Okay.
I feel like I can relate, so I understand it takes at least 6 to 8 weeks when you
got to give them some time,
right? Because Derek got a crown.
My grandmother makes sure that my crowns are nice. oh, nasty sick crown. The girls came with what they used to call them, the Burger King crowns. Anybody can get a Burger King crown.
Not a Burger King crown.
Anybody can get a Burger King crown.
Wow.
We will definitely be looking out for the reunion. I know Andario, he does he edits stuff week by week. So we may not get this reunion until when? Like, is it going to come out in July, or you're going to wait until August till this drops? So do you guys have a timeline, or are we just going to be hanging in the balance for a while?
Whoa, I'm not the person that can answer that question for you.
I'm just going to show up and answer the question.
I'll probably find out like an hour before y'all find out.
Well, I don't know if I can ask this then. I was gonna ask.
What was it?
There was talk also that because it was talk that said it was going to tape on Saturday, but there was also talk that there was going to be a male host. That's close to the show.
Is Oliver hosting the reunion?
There will definitely be males in the building for the reunion. A lot of males will be there.
Wow, I'm glad.
Oh my goodness.
There will be males, I hear.
So you can't indulge. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't indulge.
I can hear Q
calling I can hear Siri saying Q is calling your phone. Q would like to speak with you.
Right.
Okay,
as soon as we end this call, I'm asking myself, like, I hope you got Oliver, if anything. But they in my business.
I'll tell you it's not Oliver. I'll tell you that.
Oh, damn.
I have an idea, but I'm not gonna say it.
Who, Reese G?
Okay.
Who you think it is, Darren? We'll
Why
talk
would you
about
think
it.
it'd be? Yeah, right. But let's talk
We'll
on
We'll talk
that.
about it.
Right. We'll get our
Off the
scoreboard
record.
ready, put some money on it. I'm like, but no. So of this experience, I know going into reality TV can be, people have their own ideas of how this works and have different expectations for it. And you came in, you were going to be yourself. You had your genuine brand. You showed us that you were working. You didn't get involved in a lot of mess per se, but there were so many unanswered questions and about certain cast members. In your opinion, if there is a season 2, who would you like to see not return?
Not return. Oh Lord, here y'all go, because this is gonna be the headline. But and I don't want anybody. I'm just gonna be clear. This has nothing. This is not personal. It's business. This is not. I'm smart enough to understand business that it has nothing to do with how I personally feel.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Quan really brought anything to the table. I don't feel like Alicia really brought anything to the table. I really don't feel like Jayla really brought anything to the table. As far as this being chasing LA and you're supposed to show that you're working and you have something going on. There was a lot of people who come on this space and then all of a sudden they selling lollipops. And it's like, I feel like you should come on this show and you've already sold some lollipops. And then now you're like, oh yeah, I'm on this show. I've sold these lollipops. Not, oh, I'm about to come out with some lollipops. It's like, well, what do you do now? What do you have going on? What's going on? Like, we need that. We're in LA. There's a lot of people out there that have all of these different things going on that can benefit from this platform versus bringing somebody on who is really not benefiting. Me and Andre had commercials. Where was y'all commercial? Where's y'all commercials? Y'all didn't have a commercial? And I'll be goddamned if I'm on a show. If I even signed to audition to be on the show and I don't have a product or something that I know I'm going to showcase, that I'm going to be like, hey, how you guys doing? If I'm not going to do that, then what am I? Then I need to take a step back and say, okay, let me do this, line this up, and come back so I can make the most out of this experience. That's just how I feel.
Because I mean, you can't go do a free reality show and still leave broke. I mean, it don't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Because people are saying it's a free reality show, but for me, it wasn't. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Period. Like, I'm gonna get my coin.
Okay.
Now, so you gave us 3 that you don't think should come back because they didn't bring anything to the show. So I'm gonna ask you this question, and I want you to be as honest as possible. I know this may be one of your friends, but what does Fran do?
Not the mic. Don't do Fran. I feel like with Fran, I think that Fran has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, he has not been in a space like this before. Like me and Andre, like I was on season 16 of the Bad Girls Club. And I say that to say that I understand, like, getting on set, getting a mic, getting prepped by production, being brought onto set, what you're supposed to do, how this supposed to go, type of thing, from a mainstream type of platform. So with that being said, I don't think he understood. Like, I think Jeremy had did an interview with Imani Van Zamp, and he talked about how some of his scenes got deleted. And Imani Van Zamp said, well, sis, where was your iCloud? Where was your Dropbox? Where was your Google Drive? Because that's really that. And that was some real shit at the end of the day. So I think Fran, he has a lot of potential and a lot that's going for him. He's a model. We saw that on the very last episode where he was modeling, and on I think he's in Malibu Beach on the last episode.
I ain't seen no
photographer. So I feel like, you said what?
I didn't see a photographer there. I just saw him standing on the thing.
He was doing a photo shoot. I don't know.
I'm gonna go back and watch it. I didn't see a photographer. I thought he was getting like his last looks in, and just like this to be like,
And we sip.
No, I mean his closing was literally.
Honest,
unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do anything this year because of COVID. I'm like, people modeled all during COVID, like having closed sets. You get tested. We're all negative. Let's take these fucking pictures. You know what I mean? People have virtual fashion shows. You get booked. You walk. It's on the internet. So there was the pandemic created a lot of space for creatives to do things differently. So I couldn't accept that as an excuse. Baby, you don't have a job. You don't have a job. and you have a fat ass. But that I didn't understand what part of LA he was chasing. So,
but I feel like we can say that for a lot of cast members.
Well, I mean, and you named a few that may or may not have been chasing. They may have been.
And I think the difference too is that there are other cast members who came on here for television and to create a moment, even if that meant going against their integrity or lying. It's like Nene said, some people come in this space and willing to say anything to be in this space, versus Fran, who just kind of came along and was going along with the go along.
So Fran should be like a friend of the show, not like a cast member, like a friend of the show. Fran
should be a friend of the show.
We'll leave that to production.
But you spoke the truth there. That is true about reality TV. There's people that's going to be chasing their careers, but it's also going to be people that they need that's going to, start some shit.
Who do you feel came on the platform to like be a shit starter, or to create the moment or like that?
I definitely feel King Payne and Jayla both came on to create a moment, create as many moments as they could. Like, I mean, when you tell yourself when you're at someone else's event and you make the decision that you're going to throw a drink on them on camera and at their event, you're trying to create a moment, because there's no way you would have decided to do that in real life. Because if you was at one of my parties and my peoples was there, I wouldn't have been upset or shocked at you throwing a drink on me versus what I know my peoples is about to do, because I'm not going to be able to control what they do for you throwing a drink at my event in real life with no cameras. So I feel like, and I had heard that she even made the comment like, oh, well, it was good for TV. And I had heard this from Andre, that she had made this comment, whatever. So I was like, well, are you doing it for you're doing it for TV, because you wouldn't have done that in real life, because it was really uncalled for. So I do feel like between her and King Payne doing all this all season with a bubble coat on, it was all trying to create something versus someone being their authentic self. That's just how I feel. What happened?
I could, yeah. No, he's saying it. I mean, but look, he ain't saying no lies now.
With this bubble coat, because I was going to ask. I actually did want to ask some of the cast members myself, like, what was the weather like during y'all's tape? Because I was like, now I've lived in LA before, and I ain't never have to use bubble coats and fur. Like, there was so many different things happening at the time. And I'm just like, maybe they tape this in the winter and just edit it with pieces from the spring, or maybe he's anemic or something. I don't know. You never know you don't know what's going on in people's bodies. And we'll probably bring him on the show, because I'm gonna have that question too. Like, why you have on jackets all the time?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to do that. You seen how he did Imani.
Well, I'm not Imani Van Zap.
Look,
I'm not Imani.
Okay, I heard that.
We steer a whole different ship over here, and it's no hate or anything. It's just these are questions that popped up in my brain while watching the show. I'm a fan of the show. I'm a fan of 84% of the cast members, because as a Black queer creative, it's like when I'm watching you all chase your dreams, I can relate to it. It's like, I know what it feels like. Even like with Hersham, like I know what that feels like when you are getting in the groove of your art and then something happens and you have to like shut it down. You have to regroup and you have to like start over from scratch. And I can relate to that. I can relate to you being an openly gay battle rapper. I'm a rapper, and I know what it's like when you go into these spaces and people are like, oh, this is just a little foo-foo shit, until you eat them up. You know what I mean? So I get it. I can relate to that, and being a business person and staying on your grind and finding new ways to hustle just so you can live your dreams. I can relate to that. What I can't relate to is people who, they're dreamers in a sense where you're asleep. Like you're literally sleepwalking through life. Like there's no clear direction. You're not adding value to anything. You don't move with a positive spirit. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you're counterproductive to the space. And I felt like this season, with every episode, I was waiting to see if there was going to be this like culture shift with the group, where there was going to be at least one person that kind of like, all right, this is what we're here for. This is the message. Every group on reality TV there's this one person. I think that Hershey kind of played that role, but he was so neutral that it didn't come across as a way to kind of like be a glue. He was just more like, I'm not part of y'all's drama, keeping his hands clean. But I was waiting to see in that, like, who was going to be the person that bridges everything together and like keeps people focused on chasing. And you are now, correct me if I'm wrong, you're one of the older members of the show, yes? Like you're about like my age. So
I'm
like
33 years old, but I'm
yeah.
closer to the everyone in production outside of Jayla is closer to my age than they're closer to her age. So everyone is pretty much 30 plus that's involved in the situation. Like everyone, King Payne is 33 and our birthday is both tomorrow. So
tomorrow you'll both be 34. Yeah, so you're all 87. So we're all the same age.
We're all the same age.
Wow.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of ageism with you.
Yeah,
because everybody.
Like
and I don't know why. That's another kind of false narrative. I get what she's saying. I'm older than she is, but so is people that she's friends with. Jeremy is 30. Like everyone is 10 years older than you, not just me. So don't make it seem like I'm this old man hanging around a bunch of youngsters. Everyone on production is in their 30s. Like everyone is closer to my age. So I feel like, and that's I wouldn't say issue with her or why I say I don't think she should come back, because it's like what Candy said, if you're gonna go in and go in there but let it be true. Let it be the actual truth, not a narrative you're trying to portray and call me this old man like I'm this 45-year-old man with a bunch of 30-year-olds when I'm everyone else's age here.
Right. How old is she?
She says she's 23, but she just had a birthday,
my age.
so I guess she's 24. That's what she said, but I
a lot of us do act a little immature. A lot of us do. A lot of us do act a little mature. Don't know about my age. Right. I'm old soul, but yeah, I can tell. Yeah, there's people my
right. Well, now that does bring a little. I mean, I knew Jeremy was in his 30s, but even for you, so I was like, okay, well, with him being older, or how it was being painted is that you were like one of the older cast members. There came with like an expectation for you to kind of like be like a Papa Bear, or like if there was like this idea that you were going to occupy that space and kind of like keep the girls together. But moving forward in season 2 with this group, from all that you've experienced with them in the first season, what do you hope to do differently in season 2 that you didn't do in season 1?
I hope to get, because of the COVID, to get to know and have conversations with people more and get to know people more so they can get to know me. Because the reality is that I did get that where people felt like I was supposed to be this Papa Bear. But from my perspective, it was kind of like Jayla said that she said this to Alicia when they was getting their hair done, that she heard that I had a lot to say. When she saw me at the party, she said, "Oh, you seem very nice." And that's different from what I heard. So off the top, we already off to the wrong foot. So I'm asking her, like, well, what did I say?
Hear? Right.
Huh?
I was like, so what did you hear? And who did you hear from?
So what did I hear? And every time, and King Payne did the similar thing, said, well, we heard you had a lot to say. And I'm like, okay, well, but no one can repeat to me what I said or what was said. They just heard that I said a lot. And then what also confused me is that when I watched the show, because this is going on while we're filming, then when the show comes out and I see that they had a lot worse things to say, I was like, so y'all was going in on me for having a lot to say, and y'all was calling the girls dark and ugly and this and that and the third, and I didn't say none of this stuff. And even after the show, I DM'd Jalen, was like, so now that the episode has aired, what is it that I said that you decided to approach me and be so rude for no reason? And then she just looked at it, didn't say anything, which is, that's fine, but I'm just trying to understand, like, how
she left you on red?
Be this for Papa Bear when people are approaching me in the incorrect manner. Like, what about that?
Right. So you said she left you on red?
She left me on red about it. She didn't say anything. She never commented on it.
Maybe you guys can clear it up tomorrow. So,
well, I mean,
hopefully.
Right. Hopefully.
I doubt it, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not losing sleep over it.
Right. All right. Well, tell us what we can expect next from you. I know that your body scrub line is doing well. Where can we find it? Where can we order it? Give us some links. Where can we find you?
You can order it on RoyaleFlyness.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're on RoyaleFinance.com. I'll be doing, of course, more battles, so you can check out for that. I'll be working on my album. That should be coming out at the end of this year. And just trying to, expand the brand and expand, my presence amongst the world here.
Well, we thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
We love your personality. It shines through the camera. It shines through the screen, and we hope to see more of you.
Thank you.
Without Tasting LA, I know that we're going to be watching you from for the future. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
I was see there. I thought you was going to end the show. I would have been like, okay.
Well, listen. I got to get to this flag raising. So, Darren, if y'all want to kiki, y'all can do that because the doll has to go doll. And thank you again for dropping by. We appreciate it. We got the support. I'm still got to get my gift because that's going to be a move for the rest of the year for me.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll let you have it, Darren.
All right. Thank you so much, FLYKINGI, for joining us on another episode. I recently was listening to one of your songs since you just brought up your album, Everything Blue. I got the song. I love it. Like,
thank you.
Big fan. Yeah, I was just listening to it before we got started with the show. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, I am your host, Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show. I thought you left. This is the Darren Green Show signing out.
It did go away. Thank you, guys.
Bye.